Assalamu alaikum, dear students. First of all, let me welcome you all on board to the distance learning program of Pakistan International School, Doha, Qatar, after Eid holidays. I hope you all had a wonderful Eid with your family. Being Muslims, it is a mark of our unyielding faith to involve Allah the All-Knowing in the start of everything we do. So let's begin with the prayer, Rabbi zidni ilma. O God, increase my knowledge. Amen. Well, dear students, let's get started with the very first lesson of grade 11, that is his first flight, a thought-provoking story of a young seagull written by Liam O'Flaherty. Following are the learning objectives of this lesson, that at the end of this lesson you will be able to get familiarized with the writer of the story, his writing style and his works. You will also be able to figure out the central idea, the theme of the story, and also be able to know what this story is about through summary of this lesson. Well, dear students, let's have a look at the brief introduction of the writer of this story, Liam O'Flaherty. Liam O'Flaherty was born on 28 August 1896 in the Aran Islands, Ireland. He was educated at University College Dublin. He was a leading Irish novelist of the 20th century. He also wrote short stories and was a major literary figure. He died on 7 September 1984 in Dublin. Well, Liam O'Flaherty as a writer. Liam O'Flaherty's works are characterized by stark naturalism, psychological analysis, and powerful drama. He was a keen observer of sea life, and he believed that man has a lot to learn from nature. He has given a human touch to the seagull's plight so that the reader is reminded of the nervousness he too might experience before doing something new. His first flight is such a representative story of Liam O'Flaherty that depicts the dilemma in the life of a young seagull and his family. Well, following are the notable works of Liam O'Flaherty. Number 1, The Neighbor's Wife, 1924. Miss Glowly, 1926. The Informer, which appeared in 1925 and was filmed in 1935. Two Lovely Beasts and Other Stories, 1950. Insurrection, 1951. The Peddler's Revenge and Other Stories, 1976. And Shame the Devil, that is the autobiography, it was published in 1934. Alright, dear students, let's move ahead with the introduction of this lesson. His First Flight by Liam O'Flaherty is a magnificent story on the need for courage and self-confidence. It is a true parable about overcoming fears in life. Every journey of 1,000 miles begins with but a single step. But that single step is the most difficult one to make. Conquer the fear and venture forth, and we realize that we were born with wings. Through this story, the writer conveys the moral of having self-confidence and self-reliance. The parents can support us to a certain extent, but not forever. So we all should try to become independent in our own way. Now, let's have a brief look at the summary of the lesson, that is his first flight. It is an interesting story of a young seagull who was afraid of flying. He did not have confidence, he was full of pessimism. His parents, brothers and sister encouraged, scolded, tempted, and taunted him to make his first flight, but he could not collect enough courage to fly. Now, in order to make him fly and in order to help him in making his first flight, he was also left alone for 24 hours and he ate nothing. He was extremely hungry. His mother was looking at him. He begged her for food. She picked up a piece of fish and flew across him. The sight of food maddened him. He dived. Or you can see from these uh, pictures, you see his mother coming near him with a piece of fish in her beak, and she is trying to tempt him so that get so that with hunger he dives at the piece of fish and starts flying. He cried and screamed. His wings opened up automatically. He flapped his wings. Now, the moment he dived at the piece of fish out of hunger, he then realized that he was born to fly. His wings automatically started supporting him and he started flapping his wings and he started flying. He was joined by his family in his first flight. His family praised him for his efforts and offered him scraps of dogfish. Well, this is what is the brief summary of this lesson. Now, let's have a look at the theme, the central idea of this story. His first flight is a symbolic representation of the necessity of self-confidence and courage in life. Through the fears of the young seagull, the writer has painted a picture that befits human life. We all are afraid of one thing or the other during certain phases of our life. Our fears and cowardice sometimes make us do stupid, false pretensions on the one hand and refrain us from taking the practical steps to achieve the goals in life on the other. There is no doubt that suspicions haunt us, especially when we are to do something for the first time. We feel handicapped and helpless. We try to seek help but often meet either with derision or no response. Cowardice rusts our energies and brings failures and disgraces upon us. The solution is to dare and take control of our affairs. Otherwise, we'll remain a coward, a slave of our fears. A true brave man is the one who shuns his suspicions, overcomes his fears, and takes control of his affairs. This not only paves his way to success but also earns him respect from others as well. Well, dear students, you have now got to know about the brief summary of this story, that is his first flight, and have also come to know what is the central idea, that is the theme of this lesson. Now, there is a little home task for you, which is number one, read unit number one, his first flight, thoroughly. Underline all the difficult words in the text of unit and write their meanings from the vocabulary list given at the end of unit. Number three, send the picture of your text with meanings to your teacher.